60 minutes of live side split stretching. I'm going to give this camera a quick wipe because it looks a little blurry. All right. I hope you're ready because it is now nighttime. I'm much more awake than this morning and I'm ready for some side splits. I hope you are too. Che is back. Hello, hello, hello. All right. Let's get ready to do some side splits and mostly some hip mobility. First thing we're going to do is warm up. Shake out your legs, do a little wiggle, do a little dance, and get ready, at least emotionally, for some hip cars. All right. Hip cars are all about taking your legs through their maximum range of motion at the hip, and we're going to do them nice and slow and do a whole bunch. 10 on one leg, 10 on the other. We're going to reverse the whole thing, 10 on the other leg, and then 10 on the leg again. I don't know how many times we use the word other or before or whatever, but none of that is important right now. We are doing some hip cars. Give me just a second. I'm going to double check the internet one more time. And that is connected to the right one. I'm going to do the same on YouTube, TikTok. Give me a second. One last check. All right. Everything is correct. There is just one thing I forgot, and that was I need to put an earbud in to get that mic set up for way back over there. All right. Whew. Let's go. We're starting with some hip cars. Hip cars are going to look a little like this. I want you to stand up nice and straight. Keep this core nice and tight. Give your glutes a little bit of tension. Don't just slouch around like this. Try to stand up straight. And we're ready to begin. Bring this knee up as high as you can. If you feel like you're going okay enough, go a little harder. Up some more. Keep going. That is how we're setting up our hip car for part one. Next, we're opening up that leg to the side. If you can, keep that knee high. Next, we're going to rotate this leg. All right. The knee is kind of pointing that way. And we're going to rotate, 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 so that the ankle is high, almost as high as the knee. Right now, my knee is hiding the ankle behind it. I'll turn around and show you it. But we're going to keep going. We're going to bring that knee down, 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 down some more, down, down, down. Keep that ankle up high. When you're about to get into a little bit of a hamstring cramp right here, we're going to bring that leg down and back. All right. When that leg goes back from the side, it's going to look a little like this. We're flexing the hamstrings. We're flexing the glutes. We're feeling the stretch right here in the front, in the hip flexor. But when you look at it from front on, it just looks like I'm lifting my ankles and you can't see what's going on. All right. Those are the quick little tiny tips. We're going to do 10 of these. All right. Let's go. High knee. Open. Ankle up some more, down and back. That's one. High knee. Open. Ankle up some more, down and back. That's two. If you're finding that you're completely off balance, feel free to grab something. Usually, when I'm feeling off balance, I'll put one hand against the wall. I would usually do that, but I don't have a wall available for this show. That makes sense. So I just have to figure out the balancing thing. And sometimes that makes my legs extra tired and I have to shake it out a little bit more. That's okay. But if you are struggling with balance, go find something to hold on to. All right. Ankle up, down and back, high knee, open. Ankle up, down and back. I think that's 6. I really lost count because I was rambling about losing balance. Down and back, that's 7, high knee, open. Ankle up, down and back, that's 8, high knee, open. Ankle up, down and back, that's 9. I want you to try your best to keep your hips in basically the same spot. So that's just the leg that's moving. Your hips are going to move a little bit no matter what, but try and keep it limited so that you can get the leg bone in that hip socket doing most of the work. All right, that's 10 on one side. We're going to do 10 more on the other side. And I believe, Pippa Humphrey says hi. Hello on YouTube. All right, we're going to continue on the other side. High knee, open, ankle up, lift that ankle as high as the knee, then keep going, lift the ankle, lift the ankle, lift the ankle, bring that knee down a little bit. Feel that contraction in your hamstrings if they're about to cramp. Stop, bring that leg down and back. When your leg is down and back, flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, feel that stretch right here in the front in your hip flexor, and that is 1 rep. We're going to count it. We got 9 more. Let's go. Back. Sorry, knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 2. Knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 3, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 4, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 5, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back, that's 6 high knee. I'm off balance. Open, ankle up, down and back, that's 7. Keep on using your muscles. Try and bring your knee as high as you can. Open up those hips as wide as you can. Rotate that ankle as high as you can. Bring that leg back as high as you can. That's 8, I think. High knee. Open, ankle up, down and back, that's 9. Last one, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. Ooh, hold it. Feel that stretch, and we're done with hip cars going forward. Pause for a second, do a little dance, work those hips, shake it out, and we're gonna go in reverse now. All right. What I want you to do is basically the same thing, but we're gonna go in reverse order. We're gonna kind of go backwards-ish, not even really, but it's gonna be a little bit different. We're gonna hit mostly the same exact spots that I emphasized before. But the first thing we're going to do is this: bring the leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, feel the stretch right here. For a moment, we're lifting up that leg to the side. If you do martial arts or something, or probably if you don't, this will make more sense because you probably have actual skills when you do martial arts. We're going hoppa, we're just kicking out, all right? Except the knees bent. I feel like as a real martial artist, maybe there's something specific about this that has to be done a certain way. As a non-martial artist, whoopah, we're looking cool. All right. Next, from here, we're going to rotate the ankle up, so we get back into this position that we were in before. All right. Then we're gonna rotate the ankle down so that the knee is up and the ankle is down. Then we bring that leg in front to wrap things up. Hopefully, I didn't distract you too much with the haha kicking stuff. That's one rep. We're gonna do 9 of these. All right, let's go. Bring that leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, feel the stretch in the front. Lift that leg to the side. Rotate the ankle up. Rotate the ankle down. Bring that knee forward. That's 2. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 3. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 4. Keep going. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 5. Back. Side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 6. If it feels like we're going a little bit fast, feel free to slow it down at your own pace. I do a lot of talking, and it will come whenever it comes, and that will give you a lot of time to catch up. All right? So if you need time, take it, go at your own pace. I believe this is 9, by the way. Knee, last one on this leg. Bring that leg back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 10. Whoo! Those are reverse hip cars for one leg. We got one last leg to do. I hope you're ready. I hope the feet and the ankles and the calf muscles balancing you while you were doing this aren't super tired. Because, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter because we're not using those muscles for anything for the next 10 reps anyway. All right. Whew, shake it out, catch your breath, and let's go. Stand up nice and straight. Keep the core nice and strong. Superman pose, and let's begin. Bring the leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Feel the stretch right here in the hip flexor. Lift that leg to the side. Rotate the ankle up. Rotate the ankle down. Bring that knee forward. That's 1. Back. Side. Oh, I'm off balance. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 2. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 3. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 4. Keep going. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 5. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 6. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 7. 3 more. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 8. I feel like probably should remind you, these are called hip cars. CAR stands for controlled articulated rotations. We get into crazy ranges of motion using our own muscle power, and we build strength and mobility at the same time. That is 10 hip cars in reverse on both legs, and we are finally done with our first warm-up exercise. Congratulations. Do a little shake, do a little shimmy, move those hips, put that hip mobility to work right away. You've earned it. And it's probably a good time to remind you what the show is about. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering we're about to put ourselves through a little bit more fun, a little bit more entertaining, a little easier for you to stay consistent with. All right, so if you like side splits, if you like hip mobility, if you need help practicing a little bit more consistency, then make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, schedule a calendar reminder, keep coming back. 9 p.m. Eastern every single day. If you are not in a time zone where 9 p.m. makes any sense, because it's not 9 p.m. for you, our live started about 12 minutes ago. So that time every single day. All right, let's continue. Whew. We're going to move on to our second warm up exercise. It is called the elephant walk. What we're going to do, it looks a little bit like this. We're going to fold at the hips, fold in half, try to bring our belly buttons down towards the ground. Whew. If you want to just chill here and relax for a second, great. Please do it. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Once you've chilled here for a little bit and you're starting to feel that hamstring stretch get a little bit more intense, we're ready to move. All right. The elephant walk looks like this. We're going to bend one knee. We're going to straighten out the other leg. We're going to fold the belly buttons down, and we're going to switch the legs so that the other leg is now bent, and the leg that was bent is now straight. All right. That sentence is kind of confusing, so let me show it. Boom. We just switched, and keep going. Take your time. Breathe, sink a little deeper into the stretch every time you move, and just try your best. Right? You don't actually have to get deeper every time you move. I just want you to not forget that that is a possibility. All right. Sometimes we get stuck in a groove and we just keep on doing the same thing over and over and over again, and that is when progress stalls. All right. Don't give up. Add a little bit when you can, and with that, let's talk about what you're feeling right now. Hamstrings are going to feel a little bit different in each leg. One leg is bent and one leg is straight, right? When those legs are in different positions, they're going to feel the brunt of the stretch in slightly different places. That is okay. You're also going to feel some stretching probably here in your glutes area. That is very likely because your hamstrings, the tendons of your hamstring, tie in to behind the knee and below the knee, and basically into the bottom of your pelvis when you're standing. When you're forward folded like this, the bottom of your pelvis is basically where your butt is. And that is probably what you're feeling. It's still a hamstring stretch, it's just where it connects to the pelvis that you're feeling it. All right? Now that you have way more anatomy than you need, but you know why your butt is tingling, it's time to take it up a notch. Or I guess take it down a notch. Fold a little bit deeper into the stretch if you can. We're doing 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0. That is our elephant walk. Pop into a little bit of a squat. Come on back into standing. That is warm up exercise number 2. Shake out your legs, wiggle, do a little dance, flop around, and we're going to get into our third warm up exercise. All right. It's called thoracic rotation. The thoracic spine basically is below your neck, above your low back, something like this on most people, and it's designed to move, rotate, fold, and bend to the left and right, round, puff your chest out, all those good things. Most of us, we spend most of our time a little bit like this and not doing much else. These days, all our cars are fancy, so we don't even do this anymore. So we're going to add some thoracic rotation back manually on the side. All right, what I want you to do is get right back into the position we were just in. So one leg is bent, one leg is straight, and we're folding our belly button down. All right, remember how we were like this just a second ago? I'm just going to face you this way instead. All right, from here, we're going to take the arm from the leg that is bent, from the side where the leg is bent. So if your left leg is bent, your left arm is reaching across and pushing off the right leg. All right, we're pushing and we're opening up that chest. And I want you to reach your other hand up into the sky as much as possible, straight up if you can to start. From here, we're going to rotate our neck. We're going to look at that hand, and then we're going to inhale and exhale. On the exhale, I want you to see if you can reach a little bit further over your back, over your shoulder. All right, let's go. Inhale, exhale. Woo. That is our stretch. Come on back down. Whew. Shake it out. Relax for a second. We're going to do the other side. This leg is bent. This leg is straight. Arm from the bent leg side reaches across to the straight leg. We're folding forward. We're pushing off that leg, opening up our chest. Look at that hand with your eyeballs, with your neck rotated. Inhale. Exhale and reach. That is 1 rep on both sides. We're going to do 5 of them together. And it's time to get into number 2. I'm going to talk fast because I want people who come in for the first time to be able to jump right into our stretches. So I'm going to explain a whole bunch of stuff over and over and over again. But that does not mean you have to move fast. Take it nice and slow, relax, breathe, and enjoy. All right, let's go. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Fold forward, reach, open it up. Hand up in the air, neck is rotated. Inhale, exhale, reach. That is 2. Other side. And 2. 3 more. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Fold forward, rotate. Inhale, exhale, and reach. That is 3. All right. Don't be afraid to make sounds when you're exhaling air out of your lungs. The longer you make an exhaling sound, the more air is coming out of your lungs, the higher the likelihood is that you're going to be able to rotate a little tiny bit further. All right. Chest in your air is sort of like air in a can of cola, right? When you have air in there and liquids, you can't squish the bottle or you can't squish the can. But as soon as it's empty, as soon as there's no pressure in the lungs, you can go whoopah and you can crush a can. All right. Same principle. If you let the air out of your lungs, you'll be able to rotate a little bit more. Cool? All right. I think that was 3. We have 2 more. Let's go. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Open up. Inhale, exhale. Reach. That's 4. Other side. Inhale, exhale, reach. That's 4. One last rep. Let's go. Bent leg, straight leg, bent arm, straight leg. Inhale, exhale. Reach. 5. And final, last one. 5. That is some thoracic rotation. That's our third warm-up exercise. Let's jump right into number 4. You don't have to do this with me. I'm going to demonstrate real quick first, and then if you want, you can join in when I tell you to. All right? We're going to do something called the Cossack switch. And in general, it looks a little bit like this. We're going to open up our legs decently wide. We're going to drop down to a squat on one side. We're going to extend the other leg out on the other side. And it might look a little like we're trying to do a side split because we kind of are. All right? From here, once we're as low as we can get, we're going to try and scoot our butts over to the other side. And it looks a little bit like this. Okay? We're going to try and set as deep as we can. We're going to inhale. Exhale. Try to relax. Try to sink into the stretch a little bit. Then we're going to come on back. That is 1 rep. Once to the left, once to the right. For most of us, our knees, our ankles, our hips are not going to be quite ready for this. So we're going to pre-warm up for our warm-up. All right? Everybody, we can join back on in. We're going to stand, drop down a little bit, do a little bit of a squat looking thing, and try our best to chill. All right? If your heels come up off the ground, that's perfectly fine. In fact, I recommend it. When your heels are up, you're probably going to feel the stretch more in your Achilles tendon and in your calves. And we kind of want that. So try to bring your chest down to your knees. Imagine you're doing a cannonball. You're jumping into a pool. Hopefully you don't land like this into the pool because that'll really hurt your face. We're doing a cannonball metaphorically. Actually, that's not true. It is totally physically a cannonball. Anyways, we're going to move on. From here, once you've hung out for a little bit, we're going to add a tiny little bit of movement. All right. For some of you, your ankles, your knees, your hips aren't going to be ready for this, and that's okay. Take it nice and slow and do what you can and see what feels okay, what feels comfortable. All right. I want you to try to push one knee forward and then pull it back. Push the other knee forward and then pull it back. Knee forward, knee back, knee forward, knee back. Do a little twisting, do a little rotation. Come back to our beginning. Chill for a second. Try and push one leg out. Bring that leg back in. Push the other leg out. Bring that leg back in. Bring both legs out at the same time. Bring them back in. And now at this point, your ankles are probably really tired. So let's pause, breathe, hug your knees in if you want, and get ready to do some Cossack switches. All right? That was just to get a little tiny bit of movement to prepare ourselves for the movement that's coming up. It's going to get a little bit more intense from here. All right? What I want you to do is stick your hands straight down into the ground. Nothing fancy. You're not reaching. You're not going back. You're just going straight down. So your hands are just in front of your toes. All right. From here, I want you to stick one leg out to the side so that the heel is down. You don't have to focus too much on that. That'll change. But for now, heel is down. All right. Other leg, the leg that we're squatting on, I want you to drop this heel down to the ground as well. When your heel is down, it's going to be a lot more stable. And we need stability because we're doing a lot of shifting back and forth. All right. From here, we are ready to drop into this low position. If you're new to the show and you haven't gotten too much hip mobility built up just yet, feel free to hang out high, wherever you're comfortable. All right. If you're feeling a little bit more flexible, a little bit more mobile, feel free to come down a little bit lower. Wherever it is you end up, it is perfectly okay. And our next step is going to be the same. We're going to move our butts over to the other side. All right. If you're low enough to use the floor, feel free to stick your hands down on the ground, waddle yourself over to the other side. If you're high enough where it's also comfortable enough for you to come over, feel free to just come on over. All right. If you're somewhere in the middle, feel free to grab something to give yourself a little bit of a support. All right. Just need a tiny little bit to help you over. Great. Get whatever it is that you need. All right. Next, we're over on the other side. Pause here. Inhale. Exhale. See if you can sink a little bit deeper into that stretch. And then we're going to come back. Come on back. Use your hand. Don't use your hand. Come up high, come up low, wherever it is that makes sense for you, where you're at today. That is cool. We've done one rep. All right. We're going to do 10 of these in total. So we got 9 more. Let's go. Hands down. Come on across. That's 2. And back. Still 2. Keep on going. If you realize you don't need your hands because you got great balance, awesome. Keep going. That's 3. And we're going to continue. 4. When you have noticed you're ready for a little bit more, feel free to add some standing up real straight to it. All right. You might want to extend your arms in front while you're trying to stand up nice and tall, and that might help you balance a little better. Keep going. I'm pretty sure that's 6. At this point, if you're feeling some tingliness, some discomfort in the inside of the knee, let's change things up just a little bit. All right. You can come up a little first, then come across, and then sink down. All right. Up, across, down. That's 7. Keep going. Up, across, down, up, across, down. That's 8. 2 reps left. We are going to do some squats. All right. I want you to go from this position. I want you to fully extend this leg, come into this nice wide standing position, and then slowly come down on the other side. Come on down and back up. That's 9. We got one last rep to do. Take your time. Enjoy. By the way, you don't have to be doing the squats. You can do any variation that I've demonstrated as long as it feels good and it feels like a little bit of a challenge for you. All right. That is 10 reps. We're done with our warm ups. And if that sentence scares you because you're like, what? That was the warm up. What's coming up next? Don't worry. This is a 45 to 60-minute long live side splits and hip mobility show. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering we do a little bit more fun, a little bit more entertaining, so that it's easier to practice consistency. All right. So if you like hip mobility, if you like side splits, you want to work on your consistency, hit follow, hit subscribe, and we're going to move on into our stretches. All right. All that warm up was to get our muscles warmed up, our joints prepared, our blood and heart rate up so that we can get the most out of our stretches. And the first stretch that we're going to do is a hamstring stretch. What I want you to do is grab a little bit of cushioning for your knees. All right. I have some foam, gym floor, padding stuff. You don't need anything fancy. If you have an old pair of socks that, or maybe a lot of pairs of socks, because might not be enough cushioning, great. Stick that under your knee. That's enough pad. If you have a stuffed animal that your dog has ripped apart, try to stuff some stuffing back, stick it under your knee. Old dirty laundry, roll it up, stick it under your knee. Anything that gives a little bit of padding just to make your knees feel a little bit more comfortable will do. Okay? Don't have to be fancy. Next, we're going to bring both knees together if we can. If it's big enough, bring both knees down. For just a couple seconds, I want you to focus on clenching your butt cheeks, flexing your abs, bracing for a punch, and trying to posture, stand up nice and straight and tall. All right? That is because a lot of the time we get into the habits living our daily lives where we just have a little bit of a lean, a little bit of a slouch, just chilling in the cool positions and sometimes we forget what standing up straight is supposed to feel like. So, just a quick reminder, and we're going to get ready to stretch. All right. I want you to extend one leg out in front of you. If you know there's one leg that's particularly more stiff, a little less flexible, let's start with that one because I'm going to do a little bit more explaining for the first leg than the second leg. Next, when your leg's out in front, if you find you're immediately off balance, you're like, whoa, open up your legs a little bit wider. All right. That'll help a little bit with that balance. Next, bring this belly button down to that thigh. Whee! Ugh. As soon as you get stuck folding forward, feel free to stop, chill there for a second, and pause to breathe. All right? When you're here, you're feeling that stretch in your glutes and your hamstrings. I want you to inhale. I want you to exhale, and I want you to relax. Let your body flop over that leg. Let's do this again. Inhale, exhale, and flop. Just relax into that stretch and breathe. All right. Next, we're going to add a little bit of movement to help wake up our hamstrings. We've done some hamstring stuff already in elephant walk, but we're going to take it up to the next level here. All right. I want you to bend your knee a little bit. I want you to try your best to fold your chest, your torso down, basically like you were doing a cannonball before. But no, you're going to try to straighten out that leg while trying to keep your chest low. All right. Bend the knee, straighten it out. Bend the knee, straighten it out. Bend the knee, straighten it out. There isn't an exact number you have to do. If you want to do 4 or 5, that'll be great. Okay? From here, once you've done that movement, we're going to do one more breath. Inhale. Exhale and relax. Flop over that leg. Woo. Hopefully, you're finding that you're slightly more chill than before. All right? We're going to take it up, or I guess down to the next level right now. We're going to do a big inhale. We're going to suck a whole bunch of air into our lungs. We're going to slowly exhale. And while we exhale, we're going to really focus on folding the belly button down to the thigh. All right, let's go. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Fold, 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 fold. Whew. Get a little bit deeper into that stretch. If your hamstrings are feeling like they're crazy right now, add a little bit of movement. Bend that knee. Fold the chest down. Straighten that leg. Bend the knee. Fold the chest down. Straighten that leg. Bend the knee. Fold that chest down. Straighten the leg. And do a couple more of these. Whew. Hopefully, that extra little bit of movement helps your hamstrings relax a little bit and helps you feel a little bit more normal in this position, as normal as it can be, right? From here, we're ready to breathe some more. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. All right. Level 2. We're taking it a little deeper. We're going to do the inhale, exhale, fold one last time. We're going to do the knee bends. We're going to do the breathing, and we're going to hold for 30 seconds. All right? Let's go. Big inhale. Ow, I just smashed my hand into the wall. Ooh, big inhale. Exhale and fold. Fold, 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 fold. Bring that belly button down. Fold, 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 fold. Whew. You should be in a deeper stretch now. Great, excellent. If you are feeling a whole bunch of tension in your neck, in your upper back, in your mid back, you're doing too much. If you're trying to turn yourself into a little ball, your face is trying to smash into your knee, you're working too hard. Chill, relax. Okay? This stretch, the hamstring stretch, is about folding at the hips. Anything above your belly button should not be tense. Just let them chill. Cool? All right. Add in a little bit of knee bending and straightening if you'd like. This is completely optional at this point. See if it makes you feel better. If it does, great, do it. If it doesn't, you don't have to. 30 seconds, let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26. Put your hands down for a little bit of support on the sides if you feel like it's a little too intense. Get rid of your hands, lift them up if you feel like you're ready for a little bit more intensity. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18. If you're feeling strong and you've been a regular on this live, see if you can use your front of the hip muscles to almost pull yourself a little deeper into the stretch. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Be careful. If you contract those muscles too hard, you might cramp up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is one hamstring stretch. Whew, we got a whole nother leg to do. Okay, let's go. Bring that knee back in. Remember how we were talking about flexing or contracting the glutes like you're about to get spanked? Contracting your core like you're about to brace for a punch. Do all those things. Get nice and strong into that Superman position. Practice that nice, tall, strong posture for just a moment, and then let's extend this leg out in front. All right. Folding the belly button down to the thigh. Woo-hoo-hoo. Once you are somewhere in that stretch, and you're going, ah, ha, ha, hello, stretch. You're ready to chill and you're ready to breathe. All right. Inhale. Exhale. Let the body relax. Inhale. Exhale. Let the upper body relax over that leg. Add in that little knee bend and straighten. Knee bend just a little bit. Bring that chest down, straighten the leg out. Knee bend, chest down, straighten it out. Knee bend, chest down, straighten it out. Knee bend, chest down, straighten it out. And you don't have to go explosively. I know I talk fast, but you don't have to move fast. You don't have to do the same number of reps that I do. You can take it at your own pace. All right? Probably should have said that before I did all the reps. Next, we are going to fold. All right? Inhale, exhale, fold. Ready? Big inhale. Exhale and fold. Woo. Bring that belly button down towards the ground. Bring your chest towards that leg. Compress yourself. Feel that hamstring stretch get a little more intense. Inhale. Exhale and relax. Let your body drape over that leg. One more. Inhale. Exhale and relax. Feel free to add in the knee bend and straighten. Let's go. Knee bend. Straighten. If you don't like them, you can feel free not to add them. But I encourage you to do a couple with, do a couple without, take a couple of days and see if you have one that you figure out is more effective for you, that you actually like because you tested it. Okay? Let's wrap those up and get ready to do one last inhale, exhale, the chill one, the relaxing kind. And then we're going to do one more inhale, exhale, fold, and get a little bit deeper. All right? Breathe. Okay. Inhale, exhale, fold. Y'all ready? Let's do it. Inhale. Slowly exhale, fold. Woo. Once you're as deep as you can get, we're ready to pretty much count the countdown, but you can do a couple more of these. Knee, straight, knee, straight, knee, straight, knee, straight. All right, 30 seconds. Let's do it. 29, 28, 27, 26. If you're a regular on this show, you've been doing it for a while, try your best to contract your thigh muscles, your upper thigh muscles, the ones that are facing your chest. Try and see if you can lift that leg up into your chest. Try to contract your abs and see if you can help pull yourself down deeper into your thigh. Use those muscles. 15, 14, 13, 12. You don't have to use it the whole time. You can relax also, by the way. 10, 9. Make sure to breathe. Don't hold your breath. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our hamstring stretch. We are done with those. If that felt like it took forever, that is because we got other stretches that require our hamstrings to be kicking in and working hard. So we prep them real early on so you can focus on the other parts of those stretches, not just the hamstring stretch. All right? And that sentence didn't make sense. Don't worry. When we get to stretch number 3, you'll see. We're going to move on to stretch number 2, though, and that is the butterfly stretch. I recommend you sit your butt up against a wall. All right? Ooh. With your butt against the wall, I want your low back, your shoulders, your head, all to rest against that wall. I want you to bring your feet together. I want you to pull your feet in towards your groin. All right? This is the basic setup for the butterfly stretch. What we want to do is bring our knees down to the ground. What's going to happen is you're going to feel a crazy stretch building in your groin as you do that. But we don't want to just stretch. We want to build some strength. I want you to use your glutes. I want you to use your outer thigh muscles. I want you to contract those muscles, and I want you to try your best to pull your knees down into the ground. If you've never done this before, and you're like, well, what muscles? What the heck are you talking about? Don't focus on the muscles. Focus on 2 things. 1, you're feeling a more intense and growing groin stretch right here. And 2, your knees drop down just the teensiest little bit. You're moving in the right direction. All right? Give that a shot. Try your best. Open up those legs, bring the knees down, and we're going to move on to the next step. I want you to take your hands. I want you to apply a little pressure on the inside of your legs, right? If this is your knees, come in just a couple inches, right? We're going to try our best to push our legs straight down into the ground. When you do this, the back of your head is going to feel a whole bunch of pressure because it's going to get pushed into the wall. So that is normal. And when you breathe on your exhales, I want you to see if you can push a little bit harder. All right. Contracting the muscles, all the stuff we were doing in the beginning, that is optional. You can do as much or as little as you want. I just want you to know those muscles are there and they can get stronger. All right. Let's go. 30 seconds. We're ready to breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Push a little bit deeper. Inhale. Exhale. Push a little bit deeper. When I do that sound, that's me exhaling. All right. Inhale. Exhale. Whoo, whoo, whoo. Pushing a little bit deeper. I forgot to start counting, didn't I? 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Last couple of seconds. Contract those glutes, contract those outer thigh muscles. Everybody, see if you can bring your legs just a little bit deeper. 3, 2, 1, 0. Whew, that is our butterfly stretch. Let the hands go. Let the legs do whatever they got to do. They'll probably bounce up a little bit. And we're going to chill here for a second. Take a couple of breaths in. Inhale. Exhale. Okay. Next, I want you to flap your legs a little bit. Okay, bring them up, let them come down, bring them up, let them come down, bring them up, let them come down. When your hips are moving pretty good, we're ready to move on. If your legs are going, and you're not able to lift it for some reason, feel free to grab that knee, give it a little shake, and go, hey, 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 wake up, we got stuff to do, okay? Do the same for the other side. Hey, 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 wake up, we got stuff to do, okay? And once you've given them a shake, they should be a little easier to move. Once your legs are flapping a little bit, we're ready to move on into stretch number 3. I told you earlier that this stretch will tell you why we work on that hamstring stretch quite a bit. And yeah, you're going to see right now. We're going to open up our legs nice and wide. The third stretch is called the standing pancake. All right. What we're going to do once our legs are wide is make sure there is no pain right here in the hips. Right. When you get pretty deep, for most people, you're going to feel a little pinching sensation right here, unless you fold forward. Once you fold forward, sometimes that pinching sensation goes away. But if you're still standing up straight, if you feel that pinching sensation, stop, bring your legs in just a little bit until you can kind of wiggle your hips without pain, and we're ready to continue. Next, I want you to focus on your belly button. I want you to bring it down towards the ground. Whee! Ugh. And this is your starting point. All right. From the side, it looks a little bit like this. Legs pretty wide, belly button coming down, wee, and ta-da, here we are. Okay, if you're stuck a little bit higher because you don't have enough hamstring flexibility, that's absolutely a-okay. All right, everything that I say should be applicable no matter where you are in this stretch. So don't think that what I'm saying is not applicable to you just because my stretch looks different from yours. Okay, from here, we're bringing the belly button down towards the ground. That is the goal. We're trying to fold our upper body in between our legs, something that looks a little bit like this. This is really hard. And because it's so hard, we want gravity to help as much as possible. And when we're standing, gravity is pulling our entire upper body down and is being super helpful. All right. To make this stretch a little bit more difficult, but also to make gravity work for you a little bit harder, you can extend your arms out in front of you. All right. If you get your biceps by your ears, that leverage will suddenly make the stretch feel more crazy. If you hold something in your hands and you extend it way far away, that will be even crazier. So if you're a masochist, feel free to add that in. All right. From here, we're basically all set to go. You get one last option for my regulars who are trying to build up a little bit of strength. All right. You can grab your ankles. You can try to straighten out your back a little bit, stay strong, and you can try to pull your legs towards your face or your face towards your legs. And if you try to keep your back straight, you'll start feeling a crazy stretch down the whole backside of this leg. All right. That's a lot of information. If you're new, just fold forward, relax. If you're not new, grab your ankles and pull yourself in. All right, let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28. Make sure to breathe. Don't hold your breath. 27, 26. Bring that belly button down towards the ground. Fold, 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 fold. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Remember, this is about bringing your belly button down, not just your face, your belly button. All right, so if your back is super rounded and your head is touching the floor, but your belly button is really far away from the floor, that is not what we want. Belly button down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Whew. All right, we're done. Put your hands down. Put yourself in like a little push up situation. That'll take some stress off of your hamstrings and your inner thighs. And if you're stuck in this position right now, I want you to rotate your toes in towards the center of your body. Rotate the heels in, rotate the toes in, rotate the heels in, rotate the toes in, rotate the heels in, rotate the toes in, rotate the heels in until your legs are underneath you. Then pop into a little bit of a squat. Oh, push off those thighs, come back into standing. Whew, that is our third stretch, the standing pancake. Shake out your legs, do a little dance. The standing pancake is very, very difficult because you're trying to get into a crazy stretch, but you're trying to do two crazy ones at the same time. One is your legs going wide. The other is your hips folding forward, right? Whew! Take a break, breathe, chill, grab a sip of water if you need it, and in like 5 seconds, we're going to jump into stretch number 4. I'm gonna sip. I don't know if the microphones pick that up, but I imagine they do because I'm gulping down water, definitely not sipping. All right, we're gonna move on to stretch number 4. It is an option. It is optional? No. You got an option between two stretches: the pigeon stretch or the figure 4 stretch. Both have the same fundamentals. All right, one leg is getting pulled up just above the knee across your body, and it kind of looks like the number 4. All right. From there, you're going to lift that leg up towards your belly button. You're going to bring your belly button down towards that leg, like so. When you're here, you're going to feel that stretch here in the side of your glutes. You're going to feel it a little in your hamstrings. You might feel it here where you're actually doing that folding. And that is all normal. The figure 4 and or the pigeon have one fundamental difference. It is the direction that your face is facing the ground. What did we do this morning? I think we did figure 4 this. Yeah, we definitely did figure 4 this morning. Am I crazy? How can I not remember what we did this morning? Uh, I'm pretty sure we did figure 4 this morning, so we're doing figure 4 again tonight. So that tomorrow is the all pigeon day. All right, we're doing the figure 4, and what that entails is we're gonna lay on the ground. All right, come on over, chill, lay down, and relax. From here, we're taking that leg, we're crossing it over to the other side. We're looking at this triangle we just made. We're sticking our left hand into the triangle if our left leg is crossed over the right leg, right? So wherever leg is crossed, we're taking that arm and we're sticking it through the triangle. Other hand, it's going around the other side. There will probably be only one way you can do this effectively, so trial and error will also fix it if my description was confusing. Next, we're going to get into this position where you're just holding on that knee. We're going to inhale. We're going to exhale. And on the exhale, I want you to pull that leg in a little closer to your chest. All right, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Pull that leg a little closer to your chest. All right, right now, we're in position. We're ready to go. We can hold this for 30 seconds. But if you feel like your knee is feeling a little tender, a little achy, you can cup that knee directly and pull it in towards your chest, and that will make the achiness go away. All right, 30 seconds. Let's do this. 29, 28, 27. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. As you exhale, see if you can pull your legs in slightly deeper into your chest. 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is one leg. Flop over, let the body relax, chill, and breathe. Whew. All right, I got one more leg. Let's do this. Spin around. You don't have to spin. I spin so it's easier to see what my legs are doing. You can stay wherever you are because I can't see you. All right? We're crossing the leg over to the other side, sticking that hand through the triangle and around the other leg, and we're pulling that leg into our chest. Inhale, pull that leg in. Exhale, pull that leg in. Inhale, pull that leg in. Exhale, pull that leg in, pull a whole bunch, pull some more, and we're ready to begin. Let's go. 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. Remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath. 24, 23, 22, 21. Again, if your knee is feeling all achy, you might want to palm it, cup it a little bit, and pull a little bit more. That should help. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. As we get deeper into the stretch, pull that leg a little closer to your chest. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, okay, we're done. Relax. Drop the legs, drop the feet down to the ground. Let your hips chill, flop over to one side. Let your hips flop over to the other side. Oh, shake it out. Relax. Whew. That is the fourth of our 5 stretches. If you have somehow joined pretty recently and you don't know, we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day at 9 p.m., which means we started 49 minutes ago. And we do this every day to practice the number one quality: consistency. Number one, not handful. Number one quality: consistency. You can have the best plan in the world, but if you can't follow the plan, it's not the best plan for you. And that is where consistency comes in: the ability to follow through. That does not mean you have to give 100% every single day. If today's a 10% day, if you're just barely able to show up, that is fine. All right. What's important is that you showed up. What's important is that somewhere deep in your subconscious, you keep on checking boxes off in your brain, going, I am the type of person who shows up. And this does not just apply to doing side splits and hip mobility. I would love it if you keep coming back, but it's not what's important. What's important is you build up the consistency, you build up the skill to show up and sacrifice and do whatever you got to do for all the other things that you care about in life. All right. So if you need a little bit of help with consistency, if you need a little bit of help with hip mobility, and you also want to do some side splits, come hang out at 9 p.m. Eastern every single day, because that is what we're doing right here. Make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, and let's get into some side splits. If you've never done side splits before, we are going to take it nice and slow. We're going to break it down into lots of tiny itty bitty bitty steps, and you can go as far as deep as you'd like, and you can stop whenever. All right. Let's do it. Let's get into side splits. I recommend you go grab something like a stool right away, because we're probably going to use it to help support our weight, help make the stretch feel a little bit easier very, 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 very soon. I recommend a small stool. I'm short, so I got a whole bunch of these folding stools around to help me go grab things from top shelves and stuff. If you have something similar, it's a great place to start. If you have fancier things, specific for fitness, like yoga blocks, those will do. If you have even fancier things, like parallel bars, that will also do. Just depends on where you are in your buying random stuff for fitness journey. All right, you don't need any of this. A random $12 Amazon stool that folds will do. Technically, the yoga blocks are even cheaper. I think I got them for $3 a piece off Facebook Marketplace. So you don't need fancy stuff. All right, we're gonna toss that out of the way. Stool. Let's go. First thing I want you to do is ignore the stool. I just want you to go grab it. I don't usually make time for people to go grab tools, so I try to incorporate it in today. Next, we're going to rest our butts up against the wall. All right, our heels or butts are up against the wall. We're going to take one tiny step forward in front of that wall. And the reason we're standing right in front of the wall is because when we're doing the side split, we want to make sure our best friend is right here. Our best friend in this case is the wall. Reason why we want the wall is because if we fall backwards, we want something there to protect us, to support us. And also, when we're getting low and deep into our stretch, we want a little bit of extra security. Having our butt against the wall is like having a second stool that you're resting your butt on to keep you from falling deeper into the stretch and getting a lot less comfortable. All right. So, I hope you're standing in front of a wall, and I hope you appreciate why it's important to have a wall because we're going to be using it a lot. All right, let's go. We're opening up our legs nice and wide. If you're feeling pain, tension in the hips, stop, bring legs together, and we're ready to fold. Focus on bringing your belly button down to the ground. Whee! Ugh. If you can, put your hands down on the ground. If you cannot, ta-da, stool. Elevate your hands, have something to hold on to. I prefer if it's something relatively lightweight, something you can move around, but still very stable. Okay. If you're newer to the show, you're newer to the stretch in general, something a little bit higher might be helpful. A chair would be fine. All right. Coffee tables, those will work. But we want to be able to move whatever it is that you're using. The coffee table might be a little bit too heavy. All right. Next, from here, we're going to open up our legs a little bit wider. If you felt that pinching sensation in your hips when you were standing up straight and you're like, wait, now I can open my legs wide, what's going on? What's going on? When you are rotating, when you fold forward, some of the pointy, chunky bits in your thigh bone just kind of miss some pointy, chunky parts of our hip bone and lets us fold. When we're standing up perfectly straight, those chunky parts smash into each other and everything is awful. So make sure to fold and then your legs can go a little bit wider. All right. We're going to actually up that and go a little bit further. We're going to rotate the legs even further back right now. Right now, your knees should be kind of pointing forward. Your toes are kind of pointing forward. Your feet are flat on the ground. What I want you to do is hold on to whatever you're holding on to for support. And I want you to rotate the leg back 90 degrees so that your knees are pointing straight up, your toes are pointing straight up, and your heels are down. We're going to do this on both sides. Use your support. Boom. Heels down, toes up, knees up. And now, if you can, lean back against the wall a little bit for support, for stability, and pull your stool thing in towards your groin, right beneath you. We're here. This is the side splits. You might be a little bit higher off the ground, but your legs are in position. Only thing holding you back now is the muscles. And we're going to try to relax so that they can get us as deep as possible. All right? We're going to inhale. We're going to exhale. Sink a little bit deeper if you can. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little bit deeper if you can. If you're ready, if you want to do more, feel free to do a little wiggle to the right, a little wiggle to the left. Try and push your leg out just a little bit further, which each rep, my earbuds keep on spinning and trying to fall out of my ear. Keep going. Once you've done a couple of those and you're like, nope, can't do any more, we're ready to count 30 seconds. All right? We're going to hold the stretch for 30 seconds. I want you to breathe. I want you to chill. 30, 29, 28, 27. If you find that while we're chilling, while we're relaxing, you can wiggle your toes, great, add it in. If you can wiggle your calves, great, add it in. If you can sit up a little straighter, great, add it in. 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. Probably should have said that earlier. It's 20 seconds deep already. 2, 1, 0. That's it. You have sat in your side split in your best attempt. Walk your hands forward. Bring your legs in underneath you. Pull those legs in. Oh, get onto those knees and sit back. Relax. Oh, that is our first side split. We're doing 3 rounds of these. I don't know if I've said this yet, but we're doing 3 rounds of these. And in between each round, we're going to shake out our muscles. We're going to try and get as loose as we can so that we can get into a deeper second stretch and a deeper third stretch. All right. So if you're ready, come on back up into standing. Ugh. grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to. If you're wobbling around kind of like a drunk penguin, that's okay. Once we shake out our legs, get them loose, everything will be back to normal. All right. Slowly, I want you to put all your weight on one leg, and I want you to shake out the ankle. All right. I want you to be very gentle with it to start if you've never done this before. But as you build experience, as you build up skill with it, you can go a little bit faster. You can go a little bit more intensely. All right. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flap, 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 flap. What we are doing, and switch to the other side while I explain. What we're doing is making sure all the muscles that can control the ankle are relaxed. And how do we do that when we're just shaking out our leg? Well, if you flex your foot, if you point your toe, if you do some intentional ankle circles, all these muscles are going crazy trying to get you into those positions, right? If your ankles just flop it into those positions, all the muscles have to be relaxed enough to let you get into those situations. So if you're flopping around and your ankle's going wherever it pleases and is able to get some crazy range of motion, chances are your muscles are very relaxed. And that is what we're trying to train. We start with the ankles because it's very easy to see when it's flopping around and when it is being a little stiff because you're trying to use your own muscles to do stuff. All right? Floppy, loose. You are made of soggy, overcooked noodles. That is what I want. All right? Next, once your legs have been shaken out, I want you to take a couple of steps, do a little dance, move those hips that we've been working on all day. If your legs feel less like drunk penguin that we are recovering from, great. Next, we're going to put all of our weight back into one leg and we're going to shake out our hips a little bit. I want you to take the other leg, the big foot of that leg, put it down into the ground with that slightly bent knee. And I want you to focus on opening up the hip so that the knee is pointing way out that way. And I want you to bring that knee in. Boom. So the knee is kind of pointing sort of forward at like a 45-degree angle that way. All right. Open, close, open, close, out, in, out, in, out, in. As you get stronger, as you get faster, as you get more control, you can pick up the pace, you can pick up the tempo, you can pick up the intensity, and that's it. That's all we're doing. We're shaking out the leg. All right, next leg. All your weight is in one leg. Big toe is down. We'll bring the knee in, bring the knee out, 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 in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. We'll turn into dance moves in the next one because I don't want to take too long on the explanation in between when we don't need it because we're ready for some side splits. All right, side split number 2. Let's go. But up against the wall, take half a step, one step in front of the wall so that you're close enough. The wall is there to keep you safe. And let's open up those legs nice and wide. If you're feeling a pinching sensation in your hips, is feeling a little uncomfortable, stop, bring your legs together, and then we're ready to fold. Focus on bringing that belly button down. Whee! Ugh. As soon as you get stuck, see if you can put your hands down on the ground. If you can, great. If you cannot, or you just don't want to, because it's a pain in the butt, that's okay. Use something to give yourself a little bit of support. All right? I like this stool. Whew. From here, see if you can open up your legs a little bit wider now that you have a little bit of support and you're also folding forward. And then we're going to get into that rotated position so that our thigh bones don't smash into our hip bones. All right? Right now, the knees are pointing forward. We want the knees to be pointing up. You ready? Boom. Heels down, toes up, knees up. Boom. Heels down, toes up, knees up. We're in our side splits. All right? Grab your stool, grab your chair, lean your butt back against the wall. Pull everything nice and close against that wall and sink into your stretch. Inhale. Exhale. Release some tension. Inhale. Exhale. Release some tension. Drop a little bit deeper. All right? If you're ready, we're gonna do a little wiggling. All right, little wiggle to the right, little wiggle to the left. See if you can push your leg out just a little bit further. Every time you lean, at some point you'll run out of range and your legs just aren't going anywhere anymore. That's fine. You can stop. From here, once you are nice and low to the ground, I want you to wiggle your toes. I want you to wiggle your feet, wiggle your hips, your calves. Just wiggle as many things as possible to help them to relax. All right. We're gonna get into side split number 2 now, and we're going to do this a little bit differently than the first one. In the first one, we were in this position that we're in right now, right? We're sitting up pretty straight. Our butt is against the wall. Our hamstrings are probably feeling a really intense stretch. What I want you to do is walk your hands forward just a little bit so that your knee, instead of pointing straight up, starts pointing up at a diagonal, maybe at like 45-ish degrees, and your hands are directly underneath your shoulders. You look like you're doing a push-up. All right. When we make that slight position shift, we put a whole bunch more pressure into the inner thigh muscles. They become the main muscles getting stretched, and we need that. So, now that you're here, let's count it down. 30, 29, 28, 27. I found a white hair on the ground. I am pretty sure it is short, so it must be mine. 25, 24, 23, 22. But right next to it, I found a dark hair. That's good sign. 21, 20, 19. Is it a good sign though? I'm shedding. 18, 17, 16, 15. This is why you shouldn't stretch on the floor. I'm just kidding. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. If you're feeling all right, you can try and add a little tiny wiggle so you can get just a little bit deeper now. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0. All right, walk your hands forward. Pull your legs in underneath you. Grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to. I talk fast. That does not mean you need to move fast. Take it nice and slow. Take it gentle. Do what you can. And that is side split number 2. We got 3 rounds of side splits. All right, that means we got 1 big round of shaking it out, and we're going to get into side split number 3. Cool? Come on back into standing. I went too far. Sat back down. Okay. Third round. Come on back up into standing. Let's shake out our ankles and shake out those hips. Shakety shake, 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 shake. Remember, if you're brand new to the show, start slow, start nice and chill. You don't have to take it super intense. As you get more skilled, as you get more used to it, as your ankles build up tolerance, you can pick up the intensity. You can flop a little bit more aggressively and go. Remember, this is all about relaxing. And we start with the ankle because it's really easy to see when it's going flop, 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 and going crazy. Okay? You don't have to lift the leg real high up to do the shake either. I lift it up because there's usually chat down here in the screen, and I want to raise it kind of above the chat when I remember. And yeah, that's why I lift my leg. You can keep your leg all the way down here. It doesn't have to be up. Okay? Next, hopefully, your legs are already feeling a little bit better, and you're able to shimmy a little, do a little dance, and we're ready to get into some hip stuff. All your weight is in one leg, big toe is down. We're bringing that knee in, pushing that knee out, bring that knee in, pushing that knee out. We covered the basics previous round, and you can build up strength and skill and pizzazz with that move. But you can also turn it into something a little bit cooler. All right, you can turn it into some stanky leg. Pull that leg in. You can rotate that hip back out, rotate that knee back out. You can push that leg back out, bring it in, push it out, bring it in, push it out, bring it in, push it out. Have fun with it. All right. We're building up hip mobility. We're building up some strength. We're building up some mobility. You got to put it to use to make it useful. All right. To make it fun. Otherwise, what's the point? Let's go. Other side. All your weight is in one leg. Big toe is down. Bring the knee in. Bring the knee out. Bring the knee in. Bring the knee out. Bring the knee in. Bring the knee out. And let's go. Stanky leg. Pull that leg in. Push the leg back out. Bring the leg in. Push the leg out. Bring the leg in. Push the leg out. You don't have to drag your foot across the floor if you don't want to. You can do it all with that leg floating up in there somewhere. Cool? All right. Hopefully that has probably made your legs more tired. Now go back to shaking out your legs and focusing on relaxation. That was just fun stuff we like to add in to make sure that you're putting that hip mobility, that strength that you're building to work. All right? Do a little shimmy and do a little dance. We'll get your knees in and out, and we're ready to get into side split number 3 to wrap up this show. Let's go. Let's stand right in front of this wall. Half a step, 1 step in front so that your butt can rest on the wall. We're opening up those legs nice and wide. Chill. If you're feeling a pinching sensation in your hips, stop. You've gone too far. Bring your legs back in just a little bit. Next, time to fold the belly button down to the ground. Whee! Ugh. As soon as you get stuck, see if you can put your hands down on the ground. If you can, great. You can just hang out and start there. If you cannot or you don't want to because it's a pain in the butt, feel free to elevate your hands, preferably with a stool, something lightweight, something stable. All right. Next, we're opening up the legs a little bit further, and we're going to externally rotate the legs, which means our heels are down, our toes are up, our knees are up. We're rotating that leg back 90 degrees. Same thing on the other side. Boom. Now, lean back just a little bit. See if you can rest your butt against that wall. Bring your hand support right underneath your hips and get real close to that wall, real intimate with your best friend, the wall. All right, we're gonna drop. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. See if you can drop a little bit deeper into the stretch. We're gonna do a little lean to the left, lean to the right, and push a little tiny bit deeper. If you can't go anymore, it feels crazy in your legs, you don't have to keep pushing, you can chill. All right. Next, we are back in this position. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your calves, wiggle your hips, wiggle your hamstrings. Just add a little bit of movement. Help your muscles relax. And last inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. All right. Side split number 3, we got options. You can do basically the first hamstring or the first side split that we did, where we're standing up pretty straight and tall like this, feeling it in the hamstring. You can do the second version where we walked our hands forward and we felt it more in the inner thighs, or you can do what I'm going to do, which is the pancake stretch, which is not a side split stretch. It's a completely different stretch altogether. I am pretty sure my pancake is the stretch that made the least improvement since I started this show, and it is the stretch that's holding me back from a deeper side split at this point. So I'm going to work on that. That does not mean you have to follow me. I have shown you the 2 side splits that we can do, and now it's up to you to decide what you want. All right. Take the next 3 seconds to get into position. Breathe, relax, and let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29. Remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath. 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. Just knocked my glasses off my face because my sweaty arms are sticky. 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Keep going. We're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Put your hands down. Oh, we are done. Do whatever you gotta do. Come on out of that stretch. Whew. I'm gonna slowly bring my legs together because they are fried right now. But if you're doing a side split, walk your hands forward, pull your knees in underneath you, kneel, relax, grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to, and that is our 3 side splits. From here, we're going to do one more round of shaky, shaky, shaky. We're going to introduce some new cool stuff, and then we're going to do a quick joint check just to make sure our joints are working good. You can go back to whatever you got to do for the rest of the day. All right, let's go. Come on back up into standing. Shake out the ankles. Shake, 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 shake. You don't need to do any more side splits if you don't want to, so feel free to just focus on chilling. All right. Doesn't have to be super crazy thorough. You're just going back to doing whatever you had to do today. All right. Not going back into another round of side splits. Unless you are going to another round of side splits, which you can absolutely do. Josh Tree 21 told me he's been doing 4 rounds of side splits. So if that's right up your alley, you can shake out a little bit more thoroughly. All right. Next, we're gonna move on into the hips. All your weight is one leg, big toe is down. We're bringing the knee in, out, in, out, in, out. Do some stanky leg for funsies. And we're gonna get into the next level of this, where we're really focusing on relaxing. All right. I want you to put all that weight into one leg. I want you to put the big toe down, way over there, outside. There's almost no weight on this leg. And I want you to bend that knee just a little bit. All right. Nothing crazy, just the slightest little bit of a bend. Cool. And we're going to rotate in, rotate out, rotate in, rotate out, just like we were doing before, except with less range of motion. Then we're going to go faster. We're going to go fast, 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 fast. We're going to shake so hard the thigh muscles that are relaxed can't keep up, and then your leg is going to look like it's made of jello. It's going to flop all over the place, and that is how we know that thigh is relaxed. All right. Other side. All your weight in one leg. Big toe of the other leg is down, relatively straight over to the side. You're going to give that slight tiny teensy knee bend, and we're gonna shake, 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 shake out the leg, make the leg flop around like it's made of jello, and that is our leg relaxation. I hope you had fun. Let's do some joint checks. First thing we're gonna do is some hip circles, nice and slow. Come on through. Oh, other way. After the side splits, I tend to feel a whole bunch of pressure on the left and right side of the hips, right around here. And I like to hang out here for a little bit. If you need to do the same, you find other spots in your hips that need a little bit more time, a little bit more love, feel free to take it right now. Or make a mental note and come back to it afterwards. All right? All right. Whew. We're going to follow up with a quick high knee. Boom. Boom. If your knees come up, we're ready to move on. Next, I want you to focus on bring your legs right underneath your hips. All right? Not too wide, not too narrow, just right underneath your hips. Cool? From here, we're going to drop into a bit of a squat like this. And we are going to do, what we're going to do next is bring our chest down towards our knees, and we're going to push our knees forward towards our toes, all right, towards the direction of our face. When you're in this position, it's going to feel like you're really leaning forward, and you almost want to tip over. That is the feeling we want. The reason why we want this is because your toes should suddenly kick in and grip the floor real hard, and the arch of your foot should also start flexing real hard to help keep your feet stable, to keep you from falling forward. And we want that, right? Right now, because your knees are going forward, you're feeling that nice intense stretch in your Achilles tendon. You're feeling a nice firm calf muscle. Your quads are probably crying, and all the other muscles in your back trying to keep you stable are ready to move on. So let's do some calf raises. Stick your hands down on the ground if you need a little bit of support. If you don't, don't. And let's do some calf raises. Come up onto those toesies. Come on down. Come on up to those toesies. Come on down. Keep on trying to lean forward. Don't lose that intense Achilles tendon. Stretch. And once you've done a couple of these, we're probably ready to wrap. What we just did was force our toes to work real hard with the arch of our foot. We stretched out the Achilles tendon and the calves, and then we forced them to work real hard to contract and lift us up. The quad muscles were crying for help way long ago. Our low back was trying to keep our back straight and strong. And our hips, our knees, our ankle, our feet were working real hard together to keep us in position. All right? Chances are, if you're able to pull off most of those moves, you're probably doing pretty good and you're ready to go back to whatever you got to do for the rest of the day. All right, that is our live. What's the time? Oh, we're 13 minutes deep into the hour. All right, we have just done 73-ish minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice the number one most important quality, consistency. All right, if you like hip mobility, you like side splits, you want to work on some cool skills, this show is here to help you suffer a little bit less, be a little bit more entertained, and to help us at the end of the day practice a little bit more consistency. Okay? Hit follow, hit subscribe, and keep coming back. Let's see, what else we got? Notifications. 9 a.m. tomorrow, we got another live. So feel free to come back in for that. If that is too soon, you're like, what? We got more workouts in like 10 and a half hours. That's crazy. I can't do that. Feel free to not come back. This is about taking care of yourself, adding a little bit of movement to your life. If you feel like it's too much, you don't have to come back. I show up 9 times a week so that we can practice consistency together. That does not mean you have to show up 9 times a week unless you really, 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 really want to. All right. If it's your first time on the live, you might be a little bit sore tomorrow and the day after and the day after that because you're doing moves you've never done before. Once that soreness passes, it'll be a lot easier. All right. One of the principles of consistency that I try to implement into this show is making it just intense enough to get results, but not intense enough to really beat up your body so you can't do more of it. All right. This show is designed so that we can do it pretty much daily without suffering too much. All right. Because I do this show 9 times a week, and I've been doing that for several months now. So it should be very recoverable for most people. All right. And if you need to take more time off, do it every other day. That works. That's totally fine. Cool. What else? 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 I make some other content. Most of it is tied into the idea of consistency, incorporating some fitness into your daily life as if it's a regular thing for you to be doing a couple of squats here and there. All right. So, if you got 2 minutes waiting for your coffee to come out of whatever way you make coffee, you're waiting for your ramen to boil for the next 5 minutes, or you're waiting for your lunch to heat up in the microwave, those couple of minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, are super valuable. They can be a great asset and tool for training your body. All right. You don't have to do anything crazy. Squats, calf raises, any of the moves that we just did today that's making you all sweaty, those will do. You only need 30 seconds to make those moves really powerful and really effective for you. Could you imagine what you could do if you were doing a little bit of it sprinkled out throughout your day? It could be super good for you. And if you don't want to do any of those things, that's fine. I just want you to know that your joints, they don't get nutrients the way the rest of your body does. The rest of your body gets blood. All right. Blood cleans up the waste, sends you new nutrients, helps you heal and recover and all that good stuff. Your joints don't get that luxury. Mostly because if you had blood vessels running into your joints every time you like jumped, your blood vessels would explode and it would be a mess. All right. So that is not how our joints work. The way your joints heal, the way your joints remove waste products, the way your joints develop time to recover is through movement. When you move your joints, when you use your body, synovial fluid, literally a fluid in your joints area, gets squished, gets compressed, gets squeezed in all of these places, and that is how waste gets eliminated and the new stuff gets brought in to help them heal. So if you are suffering from a little bit of discomfort here and there, you're like, and you avoid using it because of that, chances are you're not really doing very much to help it heal any faster. Okay, so a little bit of gentle movement goes a long way. And if you want to get specific with it, you're going to have to ask your doctor because that is about the extent to which I can say general knowledge. I hope you don't forget to add a little bit of movement to your life. All right. Again, doesn't have to be crazy. And if there was one specific movement I recommend you work on, it would be the Cossack switches that we do already every day. All right. You're doing a deep squat in one leg, you're doing a side split in the other. You're building up all of this strength so that you can move from side to side in this crazy low position. You're building up coordination, you're building up balance because of this stability thing going back and forth and side to side. And it is a great one move for a lot of benefits. So now that I have given you the whole spiel, I think I have a YouTube channel. You should check it out. I have a quick pull-up tutorial that will help you get your first pull-up. If you're feeling like you might be kind of close, possibly, that you should check out. Cool. All right. That YouTube channel is called youtube.com/@ splits on the side. So it's the same exact username as every other platform that I am on. If you're already on YouTube, it should be easy to find. But if you're not on YouTube, you're on TikTok, for example, username is splits on the side, same as on TikTok. Cool. All right, time to sit down, read some comments. YouTube is finally in the regular format that looks like this. And the way we fix this problem is by not scheduling a live at all. The scheduled live went right back to the horizontal landscape. And I just closed it, shut it down, and I restarted a random live, and it worked. I don't know why. It's what it is. Queen OR says, so excited, let's do this. Tabata Altry 2007 says, hi, you are good. Hi. Hello, hello. Queen OR welcomed Tabata. And Omar asked, are you training for a specific sport or just for stretching? We're just stretching. What else? Queen OR answers that same question. Shrek's Quest, which is Ganowski, is over on YouTube. Welcome back, Ganowski. It's good to see you. And Vanessa says, hi, I'm from Brazil. I mean, I'm not from Brazil, but I'm just reading the comment that says, hi, I'm from Brazil. Welcome, Vanessa. And Crab Shez 17 sends fire emojis. Welcome back, Crab Shez 17. It's good to see you. You've been super consistent this week. I think you've been here every day. So thank you for being super consistent. Congratulations for being super consistent. And I hope to see you tomorrow. All right. I'm going to scroll over on TikTok real quick to see what we got. I'm going to scroll to the top real fast to get the very last bit of comments that I can still see. TikTok has been doing this thing where if I don't look at the chat for a while, it'll start deleting whatever happens in the beginning. If I don't scroll or if I don't leave the thing way up there, it just I don't get any of those messages. So if I read out a message that you feel like came in after yours did, I probably just don't see it. The first thing I'm seeing actually is Cutie Patootie says, "Don't make me miss the club. I'd rather hang out here." You can hang out wherever you like. Um, I don't know what club you're talking about, but if it's the side split and showing up consistently club, um, consistency doesn't have to be every day. All right. I choose to practice consistency and show up every day because I know when I set aside a specific time to do this thing and I make it the priority to show up every single time, I can be consistent. If you can figure out how to be consistent in some other way, feel free to do it that way, right? There's no strict clear way to do it. If you're like a crazy magical human being, crazy probably isn't the right adjective. If you're like a magically consistent human being, you can like go, I'm doing this, and then follow through on it. Man, I wish I could be you. But for the rest of us mere mortals, this show is to help you recognize and build some of your own patterns, right? If you care about side splits and hip mobility rate, great. It's going to make things easier. If you want to practice consistency and you want to keep on showing up, we're trying to build an environment for you to do that, right? And at the end of the day, that consistency, that showing up, you making whatever sacrifices you have to make because it's your time, right? Every day showing up at 9 p.m is a sacrifice. You can't do other things that you otherwise might want to do at 9 p.m. When you have decided whatever thing you're doing is worth making that sacrifice at least a couple times a week, and you've built up that consistency, you can go crush anything else you want, right? The skills, the thing that I'm supporting you with here, you can take that skill to go do any cool thing that you want. It doesn't have to be side splits. I don't mind. Um, I have wanted to do side splits for at this point, I should probably be saying like 16 years. 16 years. Usually I say 15 years. And usually, typically, I start with a couple of days at the beginning of the year, and then some days in the middle of the year, and then for like 6 months in between, I do absolutely nothing. And it starts really cool and intense. I do like 3 hours of research on YouTube. I build my best plan and how I'm gonna rest and all these shenanigans, and then I don't end up doing it as soon as I get sore. Right? That is how I've treated the side splits in my side split training for years and years and years and years and years. Now, right now, this time, I have done hundreds of days of straight live daily workouts. And I've made a lot of progress, more progress than I've ever made. So it's working for me. Is it going to be the fastest way to do side splits? No, not at all, not in the least. Is it going to be the bestest, least amount of time invested for the most optimal outcome? No, it's it's really not. And right now, that's kind of intentional because our ultimate goal is to have something that's easy for people to jump into, so that we can share this message of building consistency. All right. If you've built consistency, you can go and find any plan somewhere on the internet that calls itself the best plan. You can follow it and see if it works, right? If you can't do that, if that doesn't magically work for you because you know you're going to be like trying it for 2 days, you're going to forget about it, you're going to come back to it like 6 months later, be like, oh yeah, I did watch this video. Then consistency, what this live is all about, that's when that matters, right? Okay, that's enough of lecturing. I'm going to keep scrolling. I'm going to keep scrolling. What else we got? What else we got? We got a whole bunch of people following live. This is lovely. Thank you everybody for following. I'm gonna keep scrolling, keep scrolling, keep scrolling, keep scrolling, keep scrolling, keep scrolling, keep scrolling. Where we at? Che sends awesome emojis of me looking frustrated in an exaggerated, dramatic way. Thank you, Che. Um, Moral of the story is this: you asks, will I gain abs? Also, does it help relieve pain? Directly, probably not. Indirectly, yes. All right. What I have noticed is because I show up for this live at 9 p.m. every day, I make a lot of decisions about what I eat. Right. I can't be too full, and I can't eat too much or too heavy a meal before the live. Right. Like I have to be done eating before 8. So that doesn't mean I don't snack afterwards. Right. But it does mean that so that I can make sure that I have good energy and an effective live, I try to make some conscious decisions about what I do for dinner. And so indirectly, you know, if that's how you're treating the life, yeah, it could definitely help you get abs. But that's mostly portion control, right? It's not it's not exactly I'm doing crazy ab exercises that make my abs look really big and anything like that. Does it help relieve pain? It can, but it might not, right? If you specifically have something going on in your body where it is weak and it is also indirectly causing a whole bunch of other things to be suffering because maybe some muscles are working really hard to compensate for your weakness in that particular muscle. Maybe your leg is shifting because it needs to accommodate that weak muscle. You might have pain in lots of other places that you don't even understand because it's not directly where the weakness is. Weakness in the hip can affect you with knee pain. Weakness in the knee can even give you hip pain. Like it can go all sorts of places. So you have to figure out what you need to work on, and that is not easy. This live will not help you do that. This live is very general, is very basic. Everything that we do here will be good for you because we're moving through lots of range of motion. We're moving our joints, we're using them, we're helping them get nourished, like I said, synovial fluid earlier, and that is good stuff. But if you have a very specific thing that's feeling pain, you probably need to work on it a little bit more specifically than what this live will cover all by itself, especially because I have no idea what you're suffering through or what you're suffering from. And it's probably unlikely that 30 seconds of stretching will address that problem well enough, deeply enough, that it will help fix whatever thing you're suffering from. It's possible, but it's unlikely. Cool. All right. Che says, moral of the story is this. Oh, he does Q&A at the end of the show. Yes. Thank you, Che, for letting him know. Che says, very fancy. I want one. I assume that was the parallel bars. Cool, 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 cool. I'm gonna keep scrolling. I think we're almost at the bottom because we're already back to side splits related content that's getting commented on. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. A lot of awesome people following the live. Thank you. The Bean sends a smiley emoji. I can't actually see what that is. Oh, it's hands together on in front of emoji face. I was like, what are those yellow lines? We got a couple more comments. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, Tiff Tiff. What'd she say? What if it hurts really bad? Should I still do it? If it hurts really bad, no, you should not still do it. There's a difference between pain and there's a difference between and there's a difference blah, 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 blah. There's a difference between pain and discomfort. If you're in a stretch and it feels uncomfortable, that is pretty normal. If it is like a sharp, intense sensation, that is probably pain, and that is a reason to not continue. Um, when you're feeling pain in general, stop. Dial back the intensity. Add a little bit of movement, maybe at like 50% of the depth. See if your muscle is moving just fine. Um, but don't push to pain and don't push past pain. It's not necessary, especially for our show. We're trying to be gentle on our bodies, all right? We're trying to be gentle so we can practice consistency. Okay, and I'm gonna scroll down a little bit more to see what's going on. Tiff, you don't have to go deeper. Chase says, remember, always do what you can, slowly and carefully. Awesome. Okay. And Tiff is replying to everybody else. Amazing. Cool. All right. And then from somebody, we got a konnichiwa. Konnichiwa, hello. In Japan, it would be like 10 a.m. Good morning. Teppani says, thanks. You're welcome. And I think, oh, okay, I got no idea what's going on. That's too much Japanese for me. All right, that's all of the comments on TikTok, and I'm pretty sure that's all of the comments on YouTube. We are done. It is. Oh man, we're doing good on time. It's about 90 minutes deep into our live. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you're cooling off. I hope you're relaxing and chilling. There's only a handful of you guys left. I think 21 across both platforms, 22 across both platforms. So I think this is where we are going to wrap it up. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I hope to see you sometime later this week. All right. We got another live at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, which is 10 and a half hours from now. And we have another live 22 and a half hours from then. Oh, no, from now. So 12 hours from that live at 9 p.m. Eastern. And I'd love it if you came by, show a little support, practice a little bit of consistency. But if you're tired, if you're sore, feel free to not to do that. All right? I'll see you guys soon. Thank you for being here. Have a great weekend.